And welcome back to Pokemon Creation Team Series. This this video comes to us from CJM, who asked the question, what is Lucifer Morningstar's Pokemon team? I was very, the one catch here is you didn't specify the version of Lucifer you wanted. Because truth be told, I could have gone, obviously what I'm going with is I'm kind of going with an amalgamation of some of them, but mostly I am looking mostly at the DC, Neil Gaiman, and over all that. But I easily could have gone with the CW Lucifer. I could have gone with the literal biblical Lucifer. Could have gone with Lucifer from the TV show. My personal favorite Lucifer. Tom Ellis is the man. There are other versions you could have easily done of this too, but we will look at kind of the Neil Gaiman DC version of it. Little bits of others thrown in because it is technically all the same character. But Lucifer Morningstar is literally Lucifer Morningstar. He's the devil. He is the light bringer. He's a fallen angel. And he kind of just has his own does his own thing. He is basically, except for the presence and basically equal to his brother Michael, he's the strongest being in the DC universe. End all be all. Like, there's no one who could contest him. So that makes for a very interesting team. So right out the gate, when we're talking about Lucifer, the devil, there is a fallen angel, technically, Pokemon. I mean, when you're talking about the duos in creations, you have Arceus, who is essentially the Poke God. You have the three Archangels, which in theory would be Gabriel, Michael, and Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina. And now, it's never actually straight out stated that this is his representation, but everyone has made the parallels, and it does seem to fit. He's a Pokemon who was banished to another dimension because he was so dangerous. And I mean, Lucifer was banished to hell because he was trying to rebel and failed. So this would make a lot of sense. Also, I went origin form just because it's the cooler looking form. So there you go. Now, beyond that, though, now we get into a little bit more of the, how do I put it? Trying to pick apart Lucifer Morningstar a bit. One thing, though, that they show all the time in Lucifer, the TV series, is his mojo, is his ability to find out what is it that you truly desire. Find out what someone desires. And if I'm not mistaken, this ability is translated throughout the comics as well. He doesn't use it as often, but he can do it. And the question is, what do you do with something like that? Beyond that, he's also, very beautiful. He's God's most beautiful angel, so he's very attractive. It's easy to be infatuated with him. So I decided to go with an Amorous. Amorous actually made sense for this, in my opinion, just due to the fact that it has the ability Cute Charm. It's a legendary Pokemon, and it's an oddball out of the Weather Trio. The Weather Djinn. It also has a transformed state, which you could make an argument is similar to Lucifer having a double form or the Angel Wings. I believe it's a fairy flying, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, because of the Cute Charm, I kind of liken that to infatuation and desire. But also being God's most beautiful angel, I needed one of Pokemon's most, if not its most beautiful Pokemon. I put Milotic on the team. This goes down to the idea that Lucifer was God, the most beautiful of God's angels. He was the creation that he loved kind of the most. And yeah, I like this. It also would make sense. It's a very beautiful, attractive Rule 34 mon, if you will. And Lucifer, let's be honest, as I go into the next one, Lucifer Morningstar, being an angel probably, and a hedonist, probably would be getting frisky with something, might be getting frisky with one of his mons. Again, Rule 34 that, if you want some of that. Gardevoir would be on the team. Also, Gardevoir is very keen on picking up emotions. And Gardevoir, now that I have to say that out loud, might be very apt for, is that next, not saying who I'm talking about and when it is. Is that next week? Yes, it is. I'm not going to say who it is, but next week's Pokemon team creation video. I'm looking forward to that one. But Gardevoir, now that I think about it, would probably make it on the team as well for that one. So, yeah. Beyond that, though, it's also in Pokedex lore stated to create black holes, which would be something in his ability. It's a very powerful ability. Now, beyond that, though, we have two other Mon on the team to put. And once we got here, I'm like, okay, Because theoretically, I could put literally any Mon on this team, and there could be a rational argument to do so because Lucifer's so powerful, he can do just about anything. But I wanted something that represented other aspects of him. And so I wanted something that represented Mazikeen. Unfortunately, there's no two-faced Pokemon out there. There's Absol, but that doesn't really count. It's a ability yin-yang. And I kind of wanted something that's definitely leaning more towards the demonic. There aren't a lot of those in Pokemon, but there's a bit here or there. So that means I needed a dark type. But the fact is, especially if we look at the Lucifer TV series, Mazikeen definitely grew as a person and grew a soul and grew to love and actually had people she cared about. So I needed something that represented that duality just a little bit. I went with Morgrim. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Morgrims can be female. Now that I say it out loud, I don't know for certain. I don't normally pay attention to Pokemon gender that often, but I mean, sometimes if it makes sense, I will do it. But normally I don't pay attention that often. Well, let's see here. Morgrim, where is that mon staring at me? No, we passed it. Where there is Morgrim. Okay, is there a ratio, female male ratio here, or are they all like one gender? No, Morgrims are all male. Interesting. I guess Impidimp is just a male only line. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Well, either way, it's still a female Morgrim. It's still May's representation, whatever. And it's a feminine-looking Pokemon to a certain degree. It's a fairy dark type, so that works for the duality aspects of it. And it's a nasty Pokemon that likes to torture, which Maeve does like. I keep saying Maeve. Maze does like to do. Last but not least, this last one actually made a lot of sense. I needed the yin to his yang, because he is twins with Michael. So I needed a Pokemon that is essentially twins in some way. And that provides a couple options. I could have gone, say, the Shield and Sword duo with Zacian and Zamazenta, but that didn't really gel at all. You could have gotten the Sun and the Moon, but that doesn't really work. Ultimately, though, we have a yin-yang for the Tower Trio. And I went with Zekrom here. The reason I went with Zekrom is because between Truth and Ideals, Lucifer is probably more the one who is involved with Ideals versus Truth in Michael. The loyal soldier, all that, whereas you get the one who has his own ideals and wants to rebel, Lucifer. And Zekrom, between the two, is the one who is the Pokemon who chose to help the brother who had the ideals instead of who wanted to go with truth. So this makes a lot of sense in my mind for the yin to the yang, Michael and Lucifer. So now that we're here, how well balanced is this team? Well, you got 2 different dragon types, 2 different fairy types. Actually 3 different fairy types. Gardevoir's a fairy type. I forgot that retcon. But other than that, I mean, there's a lot of it's actually not balanced out because you have only one monotype on here, and it's Milotic, which is a very powerful Pokemon. So, I mean, what weaknesses could I find in this team real quick? Got 2 Mon that are just weak to Fairy. There's nothing they can do about that. Plus weak to Dragon. But beyond that, Giratina, take out Giratina and Zekrom's Dragon and Fairy weakness. Neither of them have any clear-cut weaknesses. Yeah, Zekrom's electric, so it could have a little weakness to ground, but the Dragon helps cancel that out. Ice is a bit of a problem for both of them, sure, but, I mean, they got more than enough coverage. Then you got Enamorus. I will say this team would have a problem, at least half of it would have a problem, with Poison-type Mon. They would definitely, and I'd even go so far to say Steel types. Steel, while Dragon's not weak to Steel, Steel can resist Dragon. So, but Steel is strong against Fairy. So that would actually be one typing that could really give this team some problems, especially if you get a good couple of different varieties on there. Like, say, you put a Metagross on there, maybe a Lucario. Well, no, the fighting would actually not be helpful. Well, fighting could be good against Morgrim, but Morgrim's not even fully evolved on this team. So, yeah, I would say Steel would probably be the only real typing that would be a problem for this team. And I say problem, it's not like it would wreck this team, but it could give him some problems, especially if you got a mostly steel team against this team. Otherwise, though, this is the team I have chosen for the great Lucifer Morningstar. What would you do for this team? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Later.